beautiful, crisp, cool 9th day of December. I still think it's November. Right. December 9th. And my engineer this morning, the ever cheerful Tom. You're very cheerful this morning, Tom. I can tell by your tone of voice. Oh, yeah. I am scrambling this morning to get in here. I was okay. I'm a little hot under the collar right now, Tom. Just a little hot. So I'm coming in and I'm listening to your wonderful program, and I hear Senator Edwards announce he's going to run. And he said, well, the program is Gilbert Talks Taxes. I'm an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent is a person enrolled with the Internal Revenue Service. I represent taxpayers. My authority comes from the IRS. I am a tax expert. I prepare tax returns. I give advice, lots of it, to businesses and individuals and anybody that'll listen to it, Tom. That's what I do. Yeah. Financial consultant, Carmona Financial Consultants. I'm at 704 Oak Street, Forest City. I have another office in Tryon at the beautiful Art Deco building off the historic downtown Tryon at 226 South Trade Street in Tryon. My telephone number is 828-289-9300. Let me give it out one more time. 828-289-9300. This program has been basically my program. Gilbert talks taxes, but Gilbert talks about whatever Gilbert typically wants to talk about. It's all about Gilbert here. And those of you that support me and listen to me, we're starting our 10th year, which is really incredible. It's our 10th year doing this on Saturdays. I have had a really, really great time doing it. I've gotten to meet so many people that I normally wouldn't have met in this county. I love this county. I love this part of North Carolina. I love where I live. I love being here. I can't tell you enough how I feel about it. Okay, so all of that out of the way. The program's about a lot of things. I got some interesting comments about last week's program, and I really did not mean it to go into a 25-minute talk, but it really impacted me so much. It ended up being a history lesson. Not so much a history lesson as a stroll down memory lane, because this history that we think was so long ago really wasn't. I mean, last night I was with some Vietnam veterans, and you think the Vietnam War was when? You know, you talk about 58, 59, 60, 60. Well, I'm sorry. It really wasn't a war, Tom. It was a conflict. You know, the Vietnam conflict. I mean, but all that stuff aside, there were men that were there. There were boots on the ground that were there, and those are the people that I care about. They're still with us. There are still Korea-era veterans that are alive and kicking and telling their story. World War II veterans have got to be pushing. I mean, how old are we talking about now? 94, 95, 96 that actually would have served. So, and they're around. There's a lady in Tryon that turned 103 last Tuesday. 103, and her mind is crystal. I mean, she's all here. She's with it. She might have another couple of years to go. So it's so the whole point of the story is, I got a lot of interesting comments, and those of you that got it, and some did, and some thought it was, it wasn't a history lesson. I was just talking about my day, what I do, and the things I experience, and it really explained so much to me of what we see. And history does repeat itself. And what's that old saying? And that's an old saying. It's doomed to repeat itself from those that didn't learn a lesson the first time around. It's true. Yeah, it's true. And that's the thing I see. Again, now I know Tom really is not about politics. I'm not about politics, but it affects us. I'm really not. Like, I'm not this, go Republicans. I lived outside. I lived in Illinois. I have voted for Democrats. I have voted for Republicans. I have voted for Libertarians. I've voted for independents. I said it last week, I even sat through a pretty arduous speech with Ralph Nader, the Green Party, the original Green Party, the mean, lean Green Party. That was a long time ago. So I really can honestly sit here and tell you I'm for the man, the person, the woman. Okay, I don't want to get phone calls on that one. Okay, I am for the person. I don't even care. All this other stuff, I don't care about. All I care about is the people. Are you representing the people you're representing in your district? That's all that really matters to me, whoever that is. And the bigger you get in national politics, the bigger that district becomes. But these things do affect us because they affect tax policy. They affect, and those of you that wondered, we literally have a night and day example between Trump and Biden. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you like Biden or not, whatever, they represent policies. And it wasn't Trump, it was all the people he brought in with him that set up this policy. He didn't sit in the back room and write these tax laws. He didn't. But he knows what he wanted as the end result. And what he wanted worked. This is just, it's simple. And he hasn't been the only one. Other ones have done it. Of course, we go back to Reagan, and the things Reagan did some, and people want to argue about all the supply side economics and all that with me. No, it works. Okay, it works. So for those of you that made some comments to me last week, thank you so much. I just wanted to get that across, that we are where we are today because of the things that have happened and the lessons that we've learned or haven't learned. That said, I walked in here and I said, I am a little hot. Okay. So when I choose who to support in politics, and I choose who to support just in anything, I just want truth. This is why I'm a little hot under the collar. You played the news about Senator Edwards. He announced last night, he had a town hall, and he announced that he's running again. And he made the comment that he knows how we can fund our support for Israel. Okay, and that's a topic I'm not even going to get into. Whether you support Israel or not, our federal government is supporting Israel. Okay, that is what they're going to do. They're going to support them with weapons, money, support, whatever. Whatever they need, we're going to give them. And that is the majority of the people. But his comment was that he knows how to get the money to give to Israel. He's going to not hire the 87,000 IRS agents. And I know that's a talking point, and it's a buzz thing, and the Republicans are using it. Well, the Republicans and the Democrats are using it as this political tool, and it's just wrong. Why is it wrong? Because it's not truth. All I care about is what is truth. What is truth? This is the truth of the matter. And I'm probably going to talk about it more because it's become this talking point. This is the truth of the matter. In the next 10 years, there are 50,000 IRS agents retiring. It's an old workforce at the federal government, just because of the way it's set up. Now, when we talk about an IRS agent, everybody thinks about some guy in a suit and a trench coat that's going to come knocking on your door and he's going to take all your money. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about those people. The group that's criminal investigation, which, by the way, is the only group in the IRS that carries guns. Okay, there is a group that carries guns. That is true. But it is a little tiny group, and it's criminal investigation, and there's about 4,000 of them. Okay, how do I know all this? Because I'm an enrolled agent. This is what I do. I talk to these people. I actually talk to these people. So when I was at the IRS forum in end of September, I was at the IRS forum, and I actually talked to Erin Collins, who's the taxpayer advocate services. Erin Collins, I love her. She's our kind of girl. She stands up for what's truth. Her job is to prod the bear. When you ask her, Erin, what's your job? She said, I prod the bear. I literally take a stick and poke it and tell it what it's doing wrong. That's her job. She supports us. She told me, we had this conversation about the 87,000 agents, and she told me that of that 50,000 that's retiring in the next 10 years, the bulk of them, and she didn't have a number off the top of her head, and I respect her for not making a number up, but she said the bulk of them, over 50%, are retiring just in the next few years. And these are critical positions that we need. Whether you like the IRS or not, we need them because it is a function they do. And anybody that owes money to the IRS and you've called them and you've been on hold for 4 hours, it's not that they're off doing something and not answering the phone. It's that they don't have people to answer the phone. So when I hear that we're not going to hire these people, I'm like, no, that is wrong. We actually need to hire these people. These are functions we need in our government. And this whole approach is wrong. It's politicized, and it's just bad, and it's not going to end up anywhere good. So, Senator Edwards, you're a liar. You're just a liar because you're not going to take that money. I said it, Tom. There, I said it. And, they listen to me over there. I'm going to get a phone call.
Put them on hold.
But yeah, I'll put them on hold for 4 hours. Thank you, Tom. That is a good. That is good. I know I say the things that a lot of people wish they could say. You know, I'd love to. Well, I'd love to. Yeah, pick up the phone and call me.
Yeah.
You know, pick up the phone and call me. I'd love to know what district he's from. Anyway, 87,000 agents. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of these people have already been hired. So let me talk about that 87,000 agents before our break. I wasn't even going to go this. Look, I got a stack of papers of things to talk about. But I end up having this conversation with people.
He gave you something to talk
because it comes up. Yeah, he did. He really served it up on a plate. And if you heard that, and I'm sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to put you on the spot when I came in, but I said to Tom, I said, is there any way you can catch that soundbite right now? Can you catch it? But it had already come and gone. Yeah. I was in my car, and when I heard it driving here, and I was in, did it get my dander up? Even if do I have dander, Tom? It's up. Because it's a lie. It's just a lie. It's just a lie. You're not. A lot of them have already been hired. And so let me tell you this process when an IRS agent gets hired. So I told you the only ones that carry guns is criminal investigation. And I've been told there's about 4,000 of those. Okay. And actually, I always tell this story. TIGDA, which is an agency within the federal government that does a lot of reporting and a lot of auditing, and they're looking at how money's spent. There's a lot of things TIGDA does. Okay. So they did a report, accidental discharge of service weapons, because they wanted to know, are the people being properly trained, so all that stuff. Accidental discharge of service weapons. The IRS, for a few years in a row, had the highest incident of accidental discharge of their service weapon. I'm thinking, I'm not worried about the IRS shooting me. I'm really praying they don't shoot each other. Okay? Because we need every one of those guys. So there's 4,000 of them. Those are the only ones authorized to carry guns. No other person in the Internal Revenue Service carries guns. Okay, so we hit that. And if you've got them coming to your house, you've got a big problem. And it's beyond anything I can help you with. That's fraud, that's international, that's a whole other thing. Okay, and that's, if you're a small business in North Carolina just trying to get by, and you may owe the IRS a few dollars, there is not an agent with a gun coming knocking on your door. It's just ridiculous to even say that, and that's the problem I have with these politicians. That's the problem. So what's the process? They hire an agent. From the time they actually hire an agent till the time that agent is actually going to talk to a taxpayer, that process could be anywhere from 9 months to 16 months. I've heard different numbers. I've heard different things they do. They go through a lot of training. There is a lot of training involved. And all the training is really exciting stuff like how to use your laptop, how to log into the system, how to pull up the information. I mean, it's all this kind of stuff that they have to spend all that time, all that, exciting stuff. And I'm being facetious. All that exciting stuff. And they learn service. They're called, it's IRC, it's Internal Revenue Code, and it's all broken down into these manuals so they can quickly understand them. So if your job is to audit small businesses, Tom, you would learn all the service manuals of small business auditing and what's involved there. And that process can take a year and a half till they actually let you do anything. You'll tag along with other agents, you'll do things, and then you might finally get to actually speak to a taxpayer. And it's a long, drawn-out process. It's not this thing that, they're going to get hired today, have orientation tomorrow, and be out banging on your door Friday. And by the way, the IRS announced 2 months ago, no more face-to-face initial contacts, no more door knocking, no more going into your business and demanding to see your books. They're not doing it. They don't have the staff, and it's really dangerous. They're not doing it. The auditors are not doing it. Everything is now being done by mail. Okay? And I'm going to get into that as soon as I get back, because the IRS has mailed 17 million letters. To put that into contrast, last year, they only mailed 225,000. So they got to get the work done somehow. They're going to do it through the mail. And the other thing they're going to do is, let me say this, and then we'll take the break. The other thing they're going to do, which has me the most concerned, and really, if Mr. Edwards wanted to be a little more genuine about his job, he'd look into this, because this is really a problem. If they got to get it done, they're going to hire third-party contractors. Just like the guy that leaked, Charles Littlejohn, remember him? The guy that leaked all Donald Trump's tax returns. He didn't just leak Donald Trump's tax returns. He stole, I forget the number, 4,000 tax returns. He was figured out a way to log into the system and not get caught and download thousands of tax returns of famous people. So if you hate Donald Trump and you're like, yeah, way to go, no, wrong. Donald Trump has the same rights you and I do, and the IRS failed, and they're not being held accountable because they hired this contractor. They're going to sentence him. He pleaded guilty, and they're going to sentence him. He's going to get a slap on the wrist. That's what scares me. Well, even the maximum sentence is only 5 years, and as far as I'm concerned, for the crime he did, that's a slap on the wrist. You know, and the one man, the hedge fund manager, Kenneth, I wasn't planning on talking about this. I'm sorry, I don't have any notes. The hedge fund manager, he sued the IRS, and they said, no, we're not responsible. He was a third-party contractor. You can sue him. So they're going to need to get the job done. You're going to have a bunch of guys like him. That's what I'm worried about. That's who I don't want them to hire. Okay? So that said, Tom, I got that off my chest. There aren't 87,000 agents with guns coming after you. Let's go ahead and take a break. This is Gilbert Talks Taxes. WCAB AM 590 FM 100.9. I want to tell you about another great local business, Forest City Concrete and Grading. Call Sean at 828-447-5949. Sean is a licensed general contractor. He can do your job from site development to completion. That's Forest City Concrete and Grading. Call Sean at 828-447-5949 and tell him Gilbert Talks Taxes sent you.
A good sign is good business. Make your business stand out with a professional sign from Dia Signs and Graphics. Successful companies all over the United States trust the team at Dia Signs and Graphics. With 25 years of professional experience, we have the ability to present your company's image in the best light. Not only display signs, but Dia Signs and Graphics can print banners of all sizes. If you need magnetic signs or window and vehicle graphics, call on Dia Signs and Graphics today. We offer a full line of sign products for any event. 3D, sandblasted, storefront, and monument signs are just a part of a complete selection of quality signage, professional signs, and banners to fit any budget. Let your business stand out. Call Dia Signs and Graphics today at 286-4900 or stop by the sign shop located on Main Street in downtown Spindale and check our website for more suggestions at diasignsandgraphics.com.
And D&S Signs has moved. They're now at 1621 Porsford Road in Rutherford. That address again, 1621 Porsford Road.
I am back. Gilbert Talks Taxes, among other things. WCAB AM 590 FM 100.9. Thank you for listening. The program is Gilbert Talks Taxes. I am an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent is a person enrolled with the Internal Revenue Service. My license comes from the Department of the Treasury, Internal Revenue Service. I represent you, the taxpayer, in all matters. All matters. I also can represent you in state problems. So we prepare tax returns, we do financial consulting, and we also do, which people are very surprised, but as part of financial planning, we also do life insurance. I mostly focus, when I talk about life insurance, I mostly focus on it as a tool to fund long-term goals. So that's why I never talk about selling insurance, because number one, it's boring. And number two, it's nobody wants to hear about it. But I use it as part of a financial plan. But we are fully licensed for insurance, fully licensed for investments, but tax preparation is what we do. And what makes me different is I'm always looking for the tax implications of when we're doing business decisions or financial planning, what are the tax implications? And even when I'm looking at your tax return, where can we save money? Tax avoidance is not illegal. Tax avoidance is actually in the tax code. You have there's a congressman. I got to get that sound bite. Now that was a real guy speaking. There was a congressman one time, and he said there was a case. This was a long time ago. This was many years ago. The case was argued, and I think it went all the way through tax court, all the way to the top, and it was argued that taxpayers cannot think of ways to reduce their tax burden. They can't come up with plans. So the big decision has always been, or if you create a plan for the sole purpose of reducing your tax load, legally or illegally or whatever, and that's where you get a lot of these Caribbean companies. I mean, FTX was a Caribbean company. Help us, Lord. I mean, how in your face can you be? And people talk about, oh, you can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? The guy did it. And he gave how many billions of dollars to campaign donations. I mean, this guy broke every rule. But if you do it, if the sole reason you're there is to avoid taxes, that crosses the line into tax evasion. But to come up with plans and strategies to reduce your tax load is actually in the tax code for you to do that. That's why we have a tax code. We want to use those laws to your advantage. And it's not really complicated. It's right there, black and white. A lot of things that you can and can't do. Where it gets complicated is when there's a lot of gray in that black and white too. About, well, what about this scenario? What about that scenario? And that's where my job is to stay current on tax law, tax court decisions, what is happening there. It's not an easy line I walk, but I enjoy it, and I enjoy helping people. We are accepting new clients, small business, individuals, 1040s. We are doing that. Trusts and estates, we always work with those, and not-for-profits. Been having a lot of those lately, not-for-profits. Okay, so this is the time of the year where we talk about what can you do to save money. Well, you've got 3 weeks left, Tom. There ain't much. Yeah, that's all she wrote. Now, I always tell the story every year about the people that are at the car lot, on the 31st of December, calling me up. I'm always available because I tell Christy, keep the phone on, honey. Let's. They're going to be calling. Sure enough, how much money do I have to spend? What if I buy this? What if I buy that? I try to have that conversation a little earlier. But the biggest thing that most people try to do this time of the year is spend money, buy a piece of equipment. I always warn business owners, especially small business owners, please don't buy something just to pay less taxes, because you're stuck with that asset. So you buy something this year. Okay, you need a Bobcat. You're going to buy a Bobcat. You need to get it, right? You get it. If you buy it December 31st, yes, it does count. At least put the key in it, turn it on, maybe move a little dirt or something. You can say you used it. But it does count. You've bought this asset. You've placed it into service. Where it gets tricky is if you buy certain things that actually have to be assembled and put together to be put in service. You buy HVACs for a commercial building. Just some of that can get a little tricky. But yes, it can be done. So you buy you buy the Bobcat. Bobcat is selling these days for, I don't know, $60,000. I'm just making up a number. I don't want to get a phone call from the Bobcat dealer, but yeah. 60,000 won't touch it. Okay, you buy a Bobcat. You get some fancy tools that you need, a post hole digger and a trencher. You might get some implements. So you rack up a $70,000 bill. Okay, you're all in $70,000. You buy this Bobcat. We to expense it. Yeah, I can't just expense it. Okay, I have to actually depreciate it because it's an asset with a long life, a longer life than a building material you're going to use right away. So if you buy wood and you put up a structure, you've used it. No questions asked. You don't depreciate that. Or wood might not be a good example because we may depreciate the structure, but you get what I'm saying. You buy materials to produce a product. That's it. It's expensed. Okay, it goes in either your cost of goods sold or we put it below the line as material purchase. Okay, that's just one example. Utilities, rent, all those things that go in all those categories. Okay, advertising, public relations, gifts for clients is a write-off. All your advertising, being right here on WCAB, Tom, is an expense. But when you buy an asset, we have to depreciate it. Okay, so I have to put it on the IR, I have to put it on the depreciation form, and we determine that asset life. 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So what we do, and there are different schedules. It's not just straight life. I mean, there is straight life. Typically, we use a modified depreciation schedule. So just to keep the numbers simple, you buy a $60,000 whatever. I'm going to do a 5-year depreciation. I depreciate it, divided by 5. You get to write off $12,000 a year. But you want to write off the whole $60,000. We can do that. It's called Section 179 depreciation, and it does have a limit, $1,080,000. There's also bonus depreciation. You can take 80% of the asset's value. Bonus depreciation, it's unlimited. So 2 warnings about this, though. Actually 3, but 2 warnings. North Carolina has a different depreciation schedule. Of course they do. They don't recognize Section 179, so we've got to be aware of that when we're making the decision of how to depreciate. Also, certain assets are limited, but that's not what I wanted to say. North Carolina has, and other states have their own. And then the second warning is this. You're kicking the can up the road. Let's say you buy that Bobcat. We take that $60,000 depreciation this year, 2023. You're still stuck with this. You've got this asset now, that you're going to be using, but you can't write it off anymore. It's done. It's a one and done. You've depreciated it $60,000, so you're going to pay less tax this year. You're going to get to reduce $60,000 off your expenses. Add it to your expenses, take it off your income. But what about next year? Okay. Now, one strategy that a lot of people do is they're not going to pay cash for that Bobcat. Oh, no, Tom, they're not paying cash. They're going to finance it. Okay. Well, you can't write off the total payment. You can write off the interest and any, charges affiliated with it, any fees or anything, extended warranties, things like that you may buy. We can write those off for the next 5 years, but you can't. So let's say you get a loan. You're going to get a 5-year loan on that $60,000 piece of equipment. We depreciate the $60,000 right now. You're going to be paying on that thing for the next 5 years. We can't write any of that off. We can write the interest off. We can write fees off. We can write insurance off. We can write maintenance off. But you can write those things off anyway. But we can't write off the actual payment. You're done. You took it. So the warning I have with a lot of the people is just be careful, be aware. You're taking that expense now. You won't have anything going forward. And I explain it to people, and a lot of times we'll have a meeting like the following year, and they'll be like, okay, well, what about that Bobcat I bought? We expensed it last year. Oh, it's like I told you, you wanted to take it all. We took it all. You've got nothing left now, and you don't need another Bobcat. Oh, okay. Well, what if I sell that Bobcat and buy another Bobcat? Okay, we need to recapture depreciation. We need to recapture. So when you sell it, that money is going to go on the income side because it's a contra asset account. It's going to go against the depreciation. We have to recapture that depreciation. So you're not going to get to write off $60,000 again. You're only going to get to write off the difference, the trade-in value to the new asset. And this is where it really becomes an issue. So just be aware. I'm open to, if you've got questions, please give me a call. I'll talk about it with you, 828-289-9300. My clients, we're always talking about this stuff. And we're having our meetings now. Actually, that's what my calendar is all booked with the next 3 weeks. People talking about end-of-the-year expenses. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain a couple of more end-of-the-year strategies, prepaying rent. I'm going to go around on that one again because I get a lot of questions about that. And buying stuff before the end of the year. Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB, AM 590, FM 100.9.
Hi, I'm Sandra. My husband Peterson and I own Precision Detail and Tint. We invite you to come to our new location at 620 U.S. Highway 64, Rutherfordton, on the corner of Silvers Lake Road and Highway 64. Whether you need specialty detailing for your car, RV, or boat, or window tinting for your automobile, or home or business, we can help you. Voted Best of Rutherford County for 11 straight years, you will know you will get quality work at a good price. Stop by for an appointment or call 828-245-8889. We're open Monday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 1.
As we get ready for this year's tax season, there's one thought on everyone's mind. Will Gilbert's hair look fabulous this year? Oh, yes, it will. How can I say that? Because I go to Robin Saunders at RSL Salon. Whether it's a good haircut, a pedicure, or a manicure, you can count on RSL Salon. Call Robin at 828-289-9110 because everyone deserves to look fabulous. We are back. Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB, AM 590, FM 100.9. I haven't talked about the live feed. I am wearing my, it's not really a 3/4 zip. It's more of a 1/3 zip. I'm wearing my gray vintage 1/3 zip pullover. But here in the blue room, it keeps, okay, so there are people texting me that there's no live feed on www. I know, Tom. You've engineered the best you can.
Yeah.
They're telling me no. They can hear the audio, but they can't hear. Are we live? That's the question. Are we live? We're alive. Are we live? So they're saying they can't see the feed on www.wcab59.com.
Okay.
So, but we look great here in the studio. I look fabulous, actually. My hair looks great. Can I talk about how wonderful I look for another 4 or 5 minutes, Tom? But they're saying no. They are saying no, and she's saying that the AM is cutting out a little bit. Well, it's AM, ma'am. It's AM.
Having problems with it last week, and it was cutting out.
The AM?
AM was, yeah.
Yeah. That's what AM's all about. I mean, the whole family would gather around the radio,
Oh yeah.
turn the radio on, and all look at each other and go, "What did he say?" It's a family tradition. That was AM, and the crackle. You got to have that live crackle.
Yeah.
That's what made it. That's what made it good. So I don't know. They're saying they're not. They can't see they can hear us on. I'm talking about the live feed. They can hear us, but they can't see us.
All right.
Yeah, I know. Take it up with management. It's above your pay grade. It's above my pay grade too. So I don't know anything about that. Okay. Last minute things you can do. So this one sounds so obvious, but I still have people. I had several people this week ask me about this, and it's simple. They're way over. They've had a lot of money come in. They're way high. Now, the one business specifically, as of right now, he doesn't have anything filling the pipeline for 2024. And his projection, because of just what he's doing, is he's going to have less revenue in 2024. Now, he's good with that because a lot of the things that they did in a big project is wrapping up this year. So what happened? He got a big old check just a couple of weeks ago. Big old. And he's like, I really don't need to deposit this. He said, I've heard you say I can just hold it. Yes, you can just hold it. The check came in the mail. You got it. Just hold it. There's 21 days left of this year. Actually, 22, right? 22. There's 22 days. And probably like 20 of them are holidays. That's December. That's what it feels like. It's like the whole last 2 weeks are just one big long holiday. With all the people that take off. But so you can hold it. You can hold it until January 1st and deposit it. There is no law, no rule that says the minute you get it, you have to run to the bank and deposit it. You can hold it and not deposit it and post it as income for next year. It's that simple. You can do this with any of your deposits. You can hold them. So if you have cash, checks, money orders, whatever they're paying you with denarii, rubles, whatever they're giving you, you can hold them and not deposit them until next year. Now, that is for people that do cash accounting. Okay? If you do accrual accounting, the minute you created that invoice and sent it out, it gets posted as income, even though you didn't get it. And people ask me a lot about that. I tried explaining this to people yesterday, and I know that it's a concept, and people have a hard time with it. With accrual accounting, as soon as you create that invoice and you send it out, it gets posted as you've already received the money. And people look at me and said, that's crazy. Well, no, because the flip side of it is that expense, the minute you give a PO or you call, so Tom, I call you, you make widgets, and I call you and I say, Tom, I want 50,000 widgets for $1 million. And you say, good deal, Gilbert. I can't have them ready till February. No problem. I'm going to give you a PO or an order, or I'll sign a contract, whatever. I can now put that $1 million expense on my books today. That is if you do accrual accounting. If you do cash accounting, it's the day you get the cash and it's the day you spend the cash. So another strategy is, in that vein, if you use a credit card. If you're a sole proprietor, single member LLC, this doesn't work for every business, and you're on cash accounting, you can order whatever you're going to order today, put it on that credit card. The credit card's not due till January, right? And really, if you time it right, let's say your credit card closes on let's just say, the 9th of December. Credit card closes today. Monday, and that statement, everything before today, is going to be due January 19th, just to make a date up, January 19th. But if I wait till Monday, I'm going to be in the February cycle, not the January cycle. So you could realistically make a purchase before December 31st, put it on your credit card, company credit card, and not have to pay for that asset till February, and you're going to write it off this year. Okay, now for some big purchases, that can be a game changer for some people. And I've been explaining this to people, and they're like, I can really do that? Yes, you can really do that. It's on your credit card. You've committed to the asset. You've bought the asset. Okay? Now, what if you have to return the asset? What if there's a problem and you get credited back? We can actually handle that in the next year when that event actually happens. But for right now, you can place that order. You can get it. So you go to a lumber yard and you commit to purchasing materials. You're on an accrual basis. Yes, you can expend that. You can expense that this year. It gets a little tricky. I get it, but it's worth doing if you've got a lot of money you're worried about paying. It's worth taking the time to do. So holding deposits till next year, not invoicing. If you're in a business where people typically pay your invoices right away, you send the invoice and they can log in and pay it. You don't want to get the money right now. You want to hold off. You don't have to invoice until January 1st, and that will post for next year if you're cash accounting. There was one other one I wanted to bring up. I've got if you spend it now, don't invoice, you don't have to deposit the check, prepaying rents and leases. We talked about that. I talk about that one all the time because that one to me is just a real easy one because you're going to be paying it anyway. So the question is, do you just want to pay for it all at once? And then the question is, do you have the money? Can you afford it? What will that do to your cash flow? We have those conversations. But let's say you pay your landlord $4,000 a month to rent your whatever, warehouse, office space, whatever. It's a business expense. Okay, Tom, you're my landlord. I pay you $4,000 a month. I can actually cut you a check for $48,000, December 31st, send it to you. You don't have to post it till next year because that's when you're going to get it. I get the expense this year. Prepaying leases. It works. I like doing it. It's a good strategy just because it's very clean. Now, the landlord does not have to post it till 2024. And there's always some confusion about that. Even if you give him a 1099, he does not have to post it till 2024. People say, well, no, he gave me a 1099 for 2023. Yes, but it's a rents 1099 and it was for a prepaid arrangement, and the IRS understands this. It's acceptable to do. Okay? Let's go ahead and take, is this the last break, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, last break. Oh, you're chipper about that. Yeah, that means we're going home. We're going home. No, don't put your coat on just yet. Let's go ahead and do the last break. We've got, how much time do we got left? Oh, yeah, we got all kinds of time. Let's take a break, and I'm going to be back. I got to talk about ERC. I know it takes me 2 minutes to get into the break. That's why I start early. ERC, Employee Retention Credit. People are going to jail, Tom. People are going to jail. It's for real. I warned everybody. Warned them. It's happening. 66 cases of it. They're going after these people in a big way. The program is Gilbert Talks Taxes. We'll be right back. WCAB AM 590, FM 100.9. I want to tell you about a little-known Rutherford County gem, Integrity Marble and Granite, located at 287 Shiloh Road in Forest City. They are the premier stone fabrication company in the western North Carolina region. They specialize in granite, marble, and natural stone, offering complete design and installation. Their design center and Kohler showroom features vanities, decorative accessories, bathroom, and kitchen fixtures. You do not have to go to Charlotte or Asheville for this kind of quality. We have it right here in Forest City. Stop in their showroom and browse their beautiful displays, or you can call 828-247-8801 for a free quote. You can also go to their website, www.integritymarblegranite.com, and look at the pictures and see samples of their available materials. Now, mention you heard it on Gilbert Talks Taxes, and they will give you $100 off any sink purchase. That's Integrity Marble and Granite.
This is Kimberly. If you owe the IRS for prior years or you have unfiled tax returns, don't call those national toll-free numbers. Affordable, secure, and local help is available for you. Call Gilbert at 828-289-9300. Gilbert is an enrolled agent permitted to practice before the IRS. Taxation is his specialty. He knows the latest laws to help you with your problem. Avoid garnishments, levies, and liens. All initial consultations are free. Call Gilbert at 828-289-9300.
Winter is on the way, so get your car ready and winterized at Tri-City Tire Service. Get your tires in good running order with an alignment and a new road force balance. They keep you safe on the roads wherever you travel this season. They also specialize in brake jobs, oil changes, and inspections. Visit Tri-City Tire Service today at 221 Daniel Road in Forest City, or give them a call at 828-287-8778. Tri-City Tire Service, your hometown headquarters for complete auto service.
We are back. Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB, AM 590, FM 100.9. Uh-oh, something must really be up. Tom's getting up.
Yeah.
Tom's moving. Uh-oh. Tom. Uh-oh. Tom's going to go back there and fix something, I can tell. He's got that steely, determined gleam in his eye. Go get him, Tom. He's going to go back in the back room and fix something. So I'm getting some texts. People say that online, all they can do is listen to us. There is no live video coming across. So I got dressed up for nothing. I got dressed up for nothing, Tom. Oh, well, that's okay. We've got the audio. I'm trying to decide which direction I'm going to go in here. So last minute tax planning, there's a lot of things you can do. I want to talk about truck drivers, those of you that drive trucks, okay? We've been getting, for a number of reasons, we've had a lot of truckers come to us. I think I've been referred by several. They've been happy with what I've done for them, and they've gone and gotten all their friends and come back. Because one thing truckers will do, they talk to each other. So truckers are a little unique. Those of you that drive trucks, you could be a truck driver and you get paid by the mile. Did you get it done? Got it done. You get paid. Well, I saw lights coming on and off. I thought there were sparks going on back there. All the equipment's okay?
Huh?
All the equipment's okay?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. And we're still on the air. Okay, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. So This is great. Live radio is just great. It's like we're in a little. It's like we're in a little radio shack out in the middle of the woods somewhere, just talking.
I'm gonna start juggling in a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no, they can't see us. They're coming in. I just got a text, 2 texts that they are. And somebody said, "Get Todd to fix it." Okay. I'd like to just get Todd. Okay. Todd ain't fixing anything. Yeah, that's true. So he came here the other day and just stood there and looked at me in the doorway. I said, "Todd, this doesn't work." He goes, "Huh," and walked away.
He's not on payroll.
Nope, he's not on payroll anymore. Todd's done, especially on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So they're saying that they get the audio, no video, on www.wcab59.com. I know. We'll talk to management about that. Okay. So, truck drivers, you guys are very unique. You've got kind of some different things going on, and there are some strategies for you. A lot of you receive 1099s, 1099 NECs. They're called non-employee compensation, especially you guys that get paid on the hub. You know what on the hub is, Tom? See, I know all that trucker language. On the hub, that means there's actually this little gadget on the wheel. This is old school. Everything's done electronic today. Everything's done with GPSs and satellite technology. But back in the old day, they actually had an odometer thingy that was on the wheel, the actual tire of the truck, and they would know how many miles they drove, and they would get paid mileage by the mile. So these guys that get paid by the mile, most of them do, receive a 1099 at the end of the year. Well, they have no withholding. There's zero tax withheld for them. So at the end of the year, when they come to me to do their tax returns, I have to go through all their expenses and, to get their tax return. Because a lot of these guys don't understand. They don't know. They haven't been taught. I actually was just talking to a truck driver this week, Monday. No, it's Tuesday. Tuesday, talked to a truck driver who he's brand new to trucking, literally just got his license. And he's team driving they put him with a more experienced driver. So we are live. Oh, but that's different. What is that? Live chat?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, we're getting different reports here. We are live according to Tom. Tom's actually got it on his phone. He's got his license. And he's team driving. Look at that.
This is delayed a little bit.
A little bit. You're good. Okay, I get it. Okay, those of you texting me, I don't know. Maybe prod the squirrel. Maybe he's not running fast enough on the mill.
Whip the hamster.
Whip the hamster. Get him spinning that wheel a little faster. We are live. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for doing that. See, Tom's an engineer. Tom is professional. That's a word we don't use too much these days.
Yeah, not in my...
Not in your profession. We're professional. Well, thank you for doing that. Those of you live, good. So I didn't get dressed up for nothing. Oh yeah. Those of you live streaming here in the Blue Room, you're catching us live, WCAB. I'm sorry, it's www.wcab59.com. Yeah, I'll take this up with these listeners. Maybe if they stop texting me and actually watched it. Okay, so truck drivers. Back to truck drivers.
Yeah.
So, talked to a guy, literally just got his license last month. He's team driving with somebody. And as they're driving down the road, talking about all the money they're going to be making, his team partner said, "Yeah, I've got some IRS troubles." And the guy says, "Well, I know a guy. He's done my taxes before, and he knows a lot about small businesses and stuff." And he asked me, "So why do you have tax troubles?" He goes, "Well, because we're going to get a 1099." And the guy's like, "A what? A 1099?" He didn't even know it. They didn't even tell him what they were going to do. He just assumed he was going to get a W-2. He just assumed they were going to withhold taxes. Nobody explained it to him. And he is working like they're already down the road. They're in the truck, like in Topeka, Kansas or something. He sent me a picture. He's like literally out in the middle of nowhere talking about taxes with his team driver who has an IRS problem because he owes a lot of money because he every year he owes, And every year he doesn't have enough to pay it, so it just keeps racking up. And he's like, yeah, well, maybe I need to talk to Gilbert. And so we were texting back and forth, and I was explaining to him, yes, you are a 1099, so you need to track every expense. Now, truck drivers, there's a few special things you can do with truck drivers. If you're not having, if the trucking company is not giving you per diem is a daily rate to help with meals and lodging. If they're not doing that, you can actually claim per diem rate yourself as an expense on your tax return. And there are a few other things like that. And I actually have put together a truckers program, not a radio program, a tax package program specifically for truckers to make them aware, because this is a constantly recurring theme. I get a lot of phone calls from truckers. As a matter of fact, I have an appointment today. One of my appointments today is from a man in trucking who was also referred to me, and he's actually an independent. He's running several trucks, and the whole thing is very confusing to a lot of these guys. I mean, these guys are truck drivers. They're good at what they do. They know how to do what they do. They're not financial accountants, and that's what happens. Is you got to be a little bit of everything in this world. But I've come up with a package, and we discuss options that may or may not apply to you. One strategy is create an entity, an LLC, create an LLC, have the firm pay the LLC. The LLC pays all the expenses. Then the LLC pays you, the driver, who's also the owner of the LLC, pays you your wages. So we can maximize those expenses and also get you on payroll. And the important thing is get you on at least some kind of a payroll. The important thing is that we're keeping you current. So whether it's through estimated taxes or we have withholding, and the LLC sends the withholding. Okay, they're texting me now. Yeah, no, stop texting and just log in. Oh yeah, I need to. They need to search it on YouTube, is what they're saying. Yeah, I need to teach people how to train their squirrels. I need to teach them how to train their squirrels. Yeah, it's not on they've taken it off where it used to be, where people were used to going to.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I see. You didn't tell me that part, Tom. Oh, they took it off of there. I know.
I just show up.
I know. You just show up and do it. No, but they got it. So we are there. So back to the truckers. We can set up an LLC. That's one strategy. The thing I'm trying to do with these truckers, though, is I'm trying to make it very easy for them so that it's not this whole accounting thing. You truckers already scan documents all the time. You're scanning them and sending them to your broker, or you're sending them to the trucking line or whatever. My system that I've actually created is you're going to scan all your receipts and send them to me. Then I automatically put it in your expenses. So we put it in the software. So I'm tracking all your stuff in real time. The only thing you need to tell me is how many overnight stays you had and how many full days you worked. So I'm trying to make it very, very simple for these truck drivers. That's the goal of the program. So if you're interested, if you're a truck driver, if you have problems with taxes, I can help you with that. But going forward, I have a system that can help you. So give me a phone call, 828-289-9300. If you know a truck driver, if you know some over-the-road guys that, especially if they need this, and if you're new, it's easy to get you started new, because that way you don't get a bunch of bad habits, because you know what bad habits are like, Tom. They're so hard to break. So give me a call, 828-289-9300. Okay, I saved the last 4 minutes for the juicy stuff. The juicy stuff. The IRS has, I need to open up this email. The IRS has denied, okay, employee retention credit, been warning everybody, don't take this credit unless you absolutely qualify for it, okay? It's big money. People are taking it. I mean, some people are getting millions of dollars from it. The IRS is going to go back and audit every one of those. So just last week, actually 2 days ago, the IRS has disallowed disallowed 20,000 employee retention credits. Now, what if you already got the money? You owe it back. Sorry, you owe it back. If you've already gotten the money, you owe back all of it. Let me explain. Let me do some explaining here. A lot of people had, so this is what happened. I mean, I'm just going to cut through it. People got a phone call from somebody who said, did you do your ERC yet? This is actually happening. I'm having clients call me, telling me this. Have you done your ERC yet? No, I haven't. I can do it for you, and all you owe me is 15% or 20% or 10%, whatever the number is, of whatever you get. And a lot of these people, I've told them, you don't qualify. There are very specific guidelines for why you would get this, and you don't qualify. They tell them, oh, your accountant, your EA, your CPA, your tax attorney, whatever, your financial planner is wrong. You do qualify. So it's putting a wedge between me and the client, number one. And number two, it's not true. They don't qualify. So, you know that human nature thing, greed, it kicks in, and it kicks in a big way. So like the one guy said, well, I just thought, have them do it. The problem was this guy didn't even have payroll. They made up payroll. They got the guy $700,000. He's going to jail. Yeah. And the guy that got the commission, the 15%, 10%, 20%, he's gone. He is gone. He's in another state. You don't even know where he is. Turns out a lot of them were big law firms, big tax law firms in New York.
Really?
Yes, it turns out. And New York State Attorney, New York government is going after them. 66 cases, and it looks like 60 of them are actually going to see real jail time. This isn't, that make pretend jail time. But more importantly, the IRS has denied 20,000 letters, and this is just the beginning. I mean, they just started working on this in August. The first acknowledgement where they said we are going to be doing this was in September. So I'm actually shocked to see how fast this has happened. This is those 87,000 agents at work there, Tom.
Yeah.
So they've denied 20,000 claims. Now, if you paid somebody a commission, that's your problem. That's not the IRS's commission. Now, you can expense that commission from what we're being told, but you expense it in the year you paid it. So it's going to be in 2023. And if you got money, you're supposed to go back and amend your tax return. I had one of those people tell my client that, no, you don't have to. Yes, you do have to. That is now income. Okay? In the year that you amended it. So we've got to go back and do all these tax returns and amend them. So this problem is far from over. Okay, it is 9 o'clock. Program is over. Next week, I will be back live, and then we're going to have 2 weekends of Best of Gilbert. I'll see you next Saturday. Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB, AM 590, FM 100.9.
About 46 degrees right now at WCAB. Tom Green in the Blue Room with a check on your weather. Cloudy, slight chance of showers today, and showers increasing later on. 40% for today, highs around 60. Showers likely this evening, a 90% chance. Overnight lows in the 50s for Sunday. Areas of fog in the morning, showers in the morning, showers in the afternoon, thunderstorms, and highs in the lower 60s. Mostly cloudy, rain showers likely in the evening, partly cloudy after midnight, much cooler, lows in the 30s. Sunshine on Monday with a high around 50 on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherford.